Hello everyone, this is Flatline, and today I'm going to be starting up a new series. I know I keep on doing these, but it's going to be called the Hot Seat, where basically it's going to be like the other series where I just dive into one specific player that released a replay pack and go over his replays, try to give you some tips from his games itself, maybe try to figure out his decision making and if it's good or bad and what he can improve on, what to take from each game that we cast. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting with EGiNcontrols, and we're going to be doing his PvZ's games that he released in his replay pack. And if you want the replay pack, I will post the link in the description below so you can download it as well. And I think we'll start off with this one where he faces against Vibe from Root Gaming. We're just gonna keep it on his vision in this game. We'll just ×2 this just in the beginning. So if you aren't aware of the other series that I casted back in Wings, I would go over, you know, like 4 replays or 3 replays of a specific player and a specific matchup, and try to give you an insight to their gameplay, their style, and why they would make that decision. And it will help you out. I mean, this is how I honestly learned. Back when I first started in Wings, I was placed in bronze, but once I got up to gold, I needed a Protoss player to look up to, and mine was actually Genius, who's now a Zubu Genius. He was a really strong Korean Protoss. I transferred over to StarCraft 2, and yeah, there was just a lot of replays on the Korean forums that I was able to downloaded a bunch of them and just looked through his vision only. And you can see he's going Nexus first because of the pull wasn't too early, which allowed him to get that. He's gonna get the Forge. He's just delaying it even more and more. Alright, so he sees that hatch. When he sees that third hatch, you can kind of assume, okay, he's going to be going for a 3 base style of play, because it's at the 3rd base, you know what I mean? But he will probably go look and scout to confirm that it finishes, that he actually has a 2nd base at his natural. But generally, if you see them get their 3rd expansion, they are going to be opting to go for that fast 3 hatch style in PvZ. Yep, and you do see him actually scouting this. We'll still ×2 this. Alright, so he's getting a Zealot as well. He still is able to keep that probe, which is really good for him. We do see in the production it's actually going to be a Baneling nest, so it looks like he's going to put on some heavy aggression here. Nice job by EGiNcontroL. I like this. On this map on Newkirk, you do want to try to get this watchtower so you can be able to scout to see if anything's coming. You can look at his mini-map. Does see some of those links moving up forward there. And he is going to be also getting a Stalker here. Now he sees a lot of stuff on the mini-map that's racing down this, and that's a lot of links, and it has speed very quick. It's already before 7 minutes and he has speed here. Automatically you should be throwing down a lot of defenses. Should be making a 2nd cannon, but it looks like he is not going to do that. Instead he's going to go for the pylon here, but it's not going to work. He is going to force a cancel, or he's going to actually take that out, and with these 3 bands he's going to be able to deny this. And look at this smart reaction from him. He's going to wall off the top completely. What you want to do in this situation, oh my gosh, okay, that was not the best way to deal with this. He should have canceled that pylon. Oh, he doesn't cancel the pylon. Oh no. Okay, so I want to go back to this real quick. This is the cool thing about these style. I'm actually going to be going back in the replays. So I think around 7:30. I think this is the right time. Okay. When you're in this situation, you actually want to target fire the banelings with your mothership core, because you're getting a sentry out, and when you're able to force field the, just be able to force field in general, if you're able to get that off, it should, if you do a decent force field, should be able to deny the banelings from any more movement. You see how it's pushing a little bit, but look at this, he's shooting this lane instead of these banelings. If he's able to take out even just one or two of these banelings, it's a huge difference to this. And yeah, so he loses all those, jump all the way back to where we are now. So now he's in a very bad shape. If you look at the unit tab, 33 drones to 23. He has 3 pylons up here. He didn't actually cancel this one. He should have canceled this one, in fact, in my opinion. But I think he was just not going to play it too risky. So I can see why he didn't cancel this. Because if he canceled this and there was more lanes on the way, he would be in trouble. But I think he forgot that he had this watchtower. And you can actually see if he's actually going to bring any more units here. So it's another 100 minerals he's going to have to be down on. And every mineral counts in this situation. He's adding on more gateways, so he's up to a total of 4 gateways. He does have +1, so he does have the upgrade advantage. Oops. But nevertheless, he is just behind in workers, which is unfortunate. He's gathering a lot of gas before he's getting his minerals. You see his income right here. It's not the best distribution, so it looks like he wants to get a lot of sentries. It's gonna be a lot sentry based army because he's mining from these gases very early, and he didn't have a good saturation over here. You can see why he's gonna be doing a 4 sentry drop. Oh, whoa, slow it down. There we go. And this is pretty smart by him. He is behind. What does he have to do? He needs to do an identical type of pressure that Zerg did against him. He has an observer right here, which is excellent. This is so smart by him. He's able to see whenever these units come in. Look at this. Vibe does a smart idea and target fires at the... Oh, that's so good by EGiNcontroL. Picks it up. Hot pickup right there. Taking out the infestation pit. It's going to deny him from getting most likely swarm host. If you're a Zerg player and you're like way ahead and you do this kind of damage, a very good transition is to go into swarm host. It's very rare where it becomes a bad decision. And look at this. This is just going to do too much damage here. He's killing off all the drones here. And now let's look at the drone count. It is 55 to 47. That's unfortunate. But income wise, yeah, it's a little bit closer than usual. He is mining more gas. That's the difference. He is able to target fire this warp prism, but he does take out that queen. That's really important. And back at his base, look at this. He's adding on immortals. He's getting a second robotics. Because he sees it's a very roach army, roach lane type of army. Can't talk right now. And immortals just do absolutely awesome against them. But he's actually going into Colossus. I don't know exactly. I think he's panicking too much. He did a lot of damage in my opinion. He was able to force less mining here. He's going to be able to pick off this overlord. Nope. Let's look at the units lost. 17 workers killed from Vibe. Just only 3 from EGiNcontroL, so maybe the zealots didn't do too much damage back in the main that it should have done. He is down in supply, but he is getting a lot of Colossus. The upside is that he did deny the tech of Vibe. You can see now he's getting that Locust upgrade. So what EGiNcontroL wants to do is a 2 base all-in from here on out. He's not making any more workers. It doesn't look like he's trying to expand. Now he is scooting around here to deny any zerglings, maybe for a run by, possible faking. He's actually expanding, which is quite weird. I guess he knows that he's gonna be fixated on going swarm host, because he did see that he killed off the infestation pit. I'm actually surprised that Vibe is still gonna continue with this. I would have transitioned into Spire if I was Vibe in this point. Let's look at EGiNcontrols. Now, one thing I would like him to do is he's kind of... Okay, never mind. He does see this foremost. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted him to reconfirm that he was rebuilding. Oh, he did. Never mind. Okay, that makes sense now. So he saw that he remade his infestation pit, so that's why he's going on with this double Colossus. When you're dealing with swarm hosts, you do want to go for a Colossus based army. Now once they add in Vipers or something like that, where it's really difficult for your Colossus to kind of stay back with your army and actually sustain life, you will have to add on High Templars with your army to deal with swarm hosts. Unless you're really good at micro, you could use some immortals and target fire these, but it's really difficult to get up their face, especially when there's locusts out on the map. And unfortunately this observer gets picked off. Oh, sexy force fields. Nice. Yeah, a little bit dramatic over here, but whatever. Nice job, and then he should push really soon because the locusts are on cooldown. Look at this. See how they're on cooldown? They're not able to produce them that much. Oh, here they come. As I say that. Now Vibe's doing a very nice job, which is basically you plant these down, you burrow them, and unburrow once the locusts are out, and retreat when you see this many Colossus, because 5 Colossus should be able to out DPS all these locusts, and you should be able to push forward. But looks like EGiNcontroL is backing up just a little bit too much. Now he did stop on his upgrades though. He's only on 2-1. I wish he would continue his upgrades. I think he has double forge. No, he doesn't. So he should be starting +3 soon. He's getting this 4th base, which is a nice timing. And he's still adding on Colossus. Now Vipers is on the way. Does he know that there's a hive? He does not know about the hive. That's one thing he needs to scout. He needs to scout the hive timing in this game. That's something he could do. Just use Hallucinated Phoenix to scout. Does have that War Prism still alive. It's really nice. It's letting him kind of put Zerg on a back foot right now. You see that they're, ever since after that Bailing buzz, Zerg's been on his side of the map the entire game since then. This means that EGiNcontroL is able to control the tempo of the game. He's kind of dictating how the game is playing out, and you want that kind of power. You want that kind of power in the game. But now Vibe does have his Vipers, so EGiNcontroL. Alright, he sees the Vipers with the War Prism, so look at that. Instantly throws down the Templar Archives, but it's super late because he did not scout the hive. He just didn't scout it. That was plain and simple. If he saw the high timing, he would probably assume. When you see the hive going, you should always try to get a Templar Archives and get Storm with your army, because now this is going to become pretty difficult for EGiNcontroL. Instead of Storm, he's probably going to rely on feedbacks at this point. Storm is going to take way too long. He's going to warp in maybe 4 to 6 High Templars to try to feedback these. And if he's able to feedback those, then he's going to be able to win. Now if he's not able to feedback those though, it's going to be pretty difficult. A little Ling run by over here. Nothing too big. Vibe should be burrowing and burrowing over here, become more aggressive. He saw the whole entire army over here, and that's what he does. Yeah, and this base should be kicked out or killed in the process. +3 is almost done. I think he's gonna wait for that. I think that's what EGiNcontroL wants to wait for. He does have his High Templars. So yeah, 6 High Templars, I called it. He's gonna try to feedback these, and yeah, the feedbacks, yep. So that's pretty much game at this point. I don't see Vibe holding this. Yeah. Too many Colossus. He wasn't able to abduct them one by one. And he kept this base alive. A counterattack should pretty much win the game. And yeah. So we're just gonna speed through here. We do see a War Prism over here as well. Nice defense. Over defense, I guess you could say, from Vibe. But nonetheless, still, there's no way he's gonna be able to kill out this army. It's just way too strong. He doesn't have an answer to the High Templars. The Colossus or the High Templars will do the damage, either one. And I think he has Storm. He does not have Storm. Wow. So he did not research. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Just kidding. Like I said, just too many units here from him. GG. From him. So that was really nice from EGiNcontroL. We saw, or he showcased, he was behind in the game early from a bailing hit. And he needed to take a risk, and that kind of risk is that War Prism going in there. He needed to put on some kind of pressure to Zerg somehow, and the safest way is using a War Prism with sentries in it, and he was able to pull that off. So that was really nice from him. We'll see what other game. Yeah, we'll see how he does against Root 50 here. So Root 50, really well known for his how can I say, his queen. He likes to go mass queens a lot in all his matchups. I don't know about ZvZ though. I've seen a ZvT and ZvP, and it's been pretty heavy on queens and whatever other stuff. So you'll probably see that queen swarm hose style with very turtley type of Zerg play in this game, and we'll see how EGiNcontroL responds to it. As we speed through here, okay. Scouts 2 minutes. Yeah, doesn't have a pull. Can go Nexus first pretty easily. He also saw a drone scout. That's something you need to remember. A lot of Protoss tend to forget, and they'll get proxy hatch inside their main. Just remember there's a drone out on the map somewhere. Oh, there's his third hatch. Yep, and he's pretty much playing standard. Scouted that. Really nice play from him. Now that quick of a third hatch, you can kind of guarantee no cheese. Because if it was some kind of cheese, it's not going to be some slow ling all in or something like that, where there's no gas. They have to get gas when you exit out of their base, and if they do get gas inside their base, then they can't really afford that third hatch. So he's gone robo. So this is another game where he's gone robo, and this is what I really like. When you watch a certain player do the same exact build. He's doing the same exact build that we saw in game 1. Obviously there was a little fluster going on prior to this in game 1, where there's the bailing hits and all that. But in a sense, Zealot to the watchtower, 2 sentries behind that. He actually skipped the stalker in this game. Interesting. Looks like he wants to play a little bit more defensive. In this case, he's actually sending this mothership all the way to the base. It's gonna allow him to scout to see the gas timing if he's making layer. Alright, so he doesn't see a layer, but he does see both gas. But we do, and if you look at the production, he's actually getting the layer. He just doesn't know about it. He's gonna try to poke. Yep, he does see it. He's gonna look for the gas. Doesn't see any gas. Okay. And we'll see what he wants to do. He's adding on his extra gates, going up to a total of 5 gateways here. This is looking pretty damn solid. You know, he sees the layer timing. He knows it's not fast mutas, anything like that. And he's able to get his observer to the zerg space on time, so he's going to be able to scout whenever that spire goes down. And if he sees that spire go down, obviously he would, you know, transition to a Stargate play. However, he does not scout it, so he's just going into a third. He's playing on a robo-centric army, which is probably the most ideal ground army, or ideal army you want to have in mid-game in PvZ right now. A lot of people like to go for Sky Toss, and that can work sometimes, but only sometimes. And this map is really good for sentry based compositions anyways, because it's a very narrow pathway, so force fields are really good. We do see that swarm host on the way. Do see the robotics finishing up. He's also adding a dark shrine, and this, I like this idea because majority of the zerg units are going to be with the swarm host, which means that his other bases will be unprotected. Now they might have some spores, but nonetheless you should be able to do some kind of damage with some DTs, unless it's scouted and they prepare with, you know, 2 spines and a spore. In that case it might be a little bit difficult, but other than that, the most you'll be facing is a spine and a queen. Whoops, did I get out? Keep it on his. He is adding on that second robotics. I like that. Do you want to go double robo so you can get out those colossus? Like I said, you can deal with early swarm host shenanigans with the mortals, because they do extra damage because they're armored. But you do need to make sure you micro them. You want to target fire them, but at the same time you don't want to target fire them at such a distance where the immortals are just trapped because the locusts are in the way. You want to try to target fire them when they're within range, and that just takes time playing with the immortals to kind of just eyeball it to know if you're in range or not. This game looks a lot more fluid. I like his macro. You can see his money is really low, and he's not getting supply blocked. He's adding on a second forge, getting that +3 +1. Double Colossus, getting Blink as well. Blink's gonna allow him to be a little bit more mobile on the map, and like I said, it's gonna be a mass queen style. Ooh, losing that mothership sucks. He's probably gonna remake it, and he does. More prism on the way. In PvZ, you do want to looks like you do want to get war prism. And the cool thing about this is because it can force an engagement, and at the same time it can punish after an engagement. For instance, in the game prior, or game 1, we saw he used the War Prism after he did a tremendous amount of damage and just warped a bunch of units inside the main. It kind of forces Zerg to either respond by either defending that or defending his other bases that the main army of EGiNcontroL is killing off. And so that's the cool thing about the War Prism, kind of separates the Zerg and makes him make a decision, a pretty tough decision at that, on whether he wants to keep his new bases or lose his main. And we do see the DTs using for controlling or managing the amount of bases Zerg is on, which is what I like a lot. And we does see the Vipers now should instantly and the Ultralisk, so he probably wants to add on a lot more immortals here. Ooh. And the Temple Archives, yep. Like I said, when you see the Vipers, you do want to get Templar Archives. If you're wondering if you could go for Void Rays, I don't recommend going Void Rays against this composition. If you're going to ask for that. And the reason why is because there's so many Queens. So the Queens are really, really good against Void Rays. They're pretty much underestimated. And the fact that they can transfuse as well, it becomes really, really hard to actually take them out. And if you target fire the Ultralisk, they just transfuse those while your Void Rays are dying. So I do prefer a more ground army. More Mortals, more Archons with this composition. The Zealots I'm not a big fan of, but he does have a ton of minerals. So yeah, you don't want Zealots in your composition because Ultralisk just do 55 a pop, regardless if you're armored or not. So the Zealots just wipe, they just disappear instantly. So you do just want to use him for harassment, and since he has so many minerals, this is okay. But I feel like this is just too many Zealots, and he finds out there's not even a base there, so now those Zealots are pretty much dead for free. But he's actually going to change that up. He's actually pushing his army in the front to make it really tough for Fitzy here to decide if he wants to kill off all of those Zealots or not. Look at this, he's sending the Zealots all the way to the other base while he's retreating. So smart, but looks like he might have overextended, losing all those Colossus. There you go. Mass recalls there. Look at this. Like I said, he likes to attack at two places at once against Zerg, and now this becomes a little bit more difficult for them to kind of manage for a Zerg player. What do you do in this situation? It's going to feedback that to get DTs. Oh, there's another Overseer. And he is establishing a fourth base as well. I would like him to actually add a DT at the left side to see whenever Zerg wants to expand over there. Because look at this, Zerg wants to expand. He has all the minerals to expand, but he just can't expand. He needs to gas. And in PvZ, it's all about the gas count. If you are a Protoss player and you have more gas than your Zerg, than your opponent, you are generally ahead in this matchup. Generally ahead. So if you're able to manage their gas count, you're going to be in pretty good shape. However, his composition is not the best against what he's dealing with. It's a lot of Ultras, it's a lot of Queens. He's still going for a very mass Colossus. There he is, he's adding on that triple robo, I like that. And a Muta switch here would be really, really good, but he knows Zerg should not be able to afford that many Mutas because of the army composition he has. He has Vipers, he has Swarm Hosts, he has Ultras. Very, very gas intensive army right there. And once again, denying that base. The longer that gets denied, the worse it gets for him. But once again, not enough Ultra. How many Ultras does he have? He has 8 Ultras and 2 Immortals for that. If you're wondering what's a good count for Ultras or Immortals against Ultras, try to go 1-to-1. If you have 1-to-1, like 1 Immortal per Ultra, you should be in pretty good shape. You do want to have Colossus, I'm not gonna lie, you do want to have Colossus with your army against this, but you do not want to overmake Colossus. By that I mean you don't want to have more than like 6. Alright, here we go, let's see how this goes. Alright, well Fitzy's not transfusing really well, because he just lost like, what? 4 of his, 6 of his, 5 of his Ultras, when he had like so many Queens to transfuse. Nonetheless, you can see how that army just pretty much beats it. He doesn't have enough Immortals to kind of combat the Ultras, so he loses that fight, but look at this. He is abusing the fact that he has a better economy than Zerg. That sucks, he doesn't have an Overseer with that army. He's abusing the fact that he has a better income, so he's getting a lot of time. He's actually starting to add on some immortals with this. It's a lot better. I would actually prefer him, yeah, switch it up. There you go. Add 3 immortals. You got 3 immortals. So much better. Yeah, and him securing that left side base is pretty much gonna seal the deal, as Fitzy here is actually on 2 bases. He's trying to get his main again. This is just absolutely, like I said, if you can control the tempo of the game, you are really feeling comfortable. And that's what EGiNcontroL is doing. He is making Zerg play his game. You know, Zerg is not able to play the way he wants to play. He has to go back and forth and defend all these. And it gets really annoying for the Zerg player. Very nice harassment from EGiNcontroL. But all this harassment does cost money. And you can see his bank has now diminished. And this is where it gets really risky for EGiNcontroL. Because in this next engagement, whoever wins, wins. As even though EGiNcontroL has done all this harassment, he secured that base, he's going to be able to get a better bank. His bank is not going to be that juicy because of the gas. His gas is really low, and like I said, it's all about gas in this matchup. So it's all up to Fitzy here to attack, but he's having a pretty difficult time dealing with this War Prism, it seems. Nice little storm there. But the engagement at the base. And this is what I mean, using the DTs on the map. He's controlling the amount of bases. He has DTs here and DTs here. I know this is kind of like common knowledge for some people, but I do want to stress this for the others that don't know about this. You can use DTs to kind of, doesn't have to always harass or be your saving grace. It can also be map control, controlling the amount of bases these Zerg can get, and it gets really annoying for them. Obviously they could send an overseer there with some units and kill that off, but you just send another one and so on, and you know that he's trying to expand there, and then from that you can use that information to your advantage, either poking at a different side and then warping some more zealots over there and try to cancel it or something like that. But this is looking a lot better. 3 immortals, only 2 ultras, so this is looking really good for him. In fact, in this engagement he should win pretty easily. And now that bank's actually restored, so Fitzy took way too long to actually engage. And I know food count obviously, but that was his best time, was to engage right when that base finished. Well, he definitely got outplayed by EGiNcontroL here. This game should finish up pretty soon here. I think this engagement right here should end the game. Hope he does lose all of his detection. Nevertheless, just storm on top, kills everything. GG. So yeah, well done from EGiNcontroL himself, showcasing the robo style. I think this is his best matchup from what I've seen from his stream and all that. It just looks really solid at this point. So I do want to just focus on that. Let's see. Go against Mystery here. We'll do this one. This will be the last replay that we'll go over in his PvZ. And like I said, he has other replays. You can look. I will put the link below if you want to get his pack, replay pack. So don't worry. And you can look through these replays as well, and if you spot something I missed, you know, you can leave it in the comments below, obviously. But really solid play. We'll see if he actually does the same build, and I hope he does, because those are the best replays. If you could find a player that does the same exact build for that matchup, that's the best thing. Because you can actually learn from his insights. You know, why does he get the robo here? Why did he make a Stargate here? Why did he get this tech? Why did he get this upgrade? Why did he attack? Etc, etc. You can learn a lot from just the subtle things that he scouted or see from his opponent. So once again, not a very quick pull. Next is first. Delaying that quite a bit. Sees one egg. Generally means just a set of links. So you don't have to worry about a huge link run by. But he is going to be super safe, adds on that cannon first. Then the gateway. Alright. See what he wants to do here. He's getting his cyber. Will he make that zealot? Yep. Look at that. He's gonna send it to that watchtower. And I like this move a lot. Usually when you see me do any kind of PvZ build, it's gonna be with the zealot. Because the zealot allows you to have some kind of map presence. Even though it's not the biggest, like a stalker, it gives you that early map presence. And it can, you know, help you tremendously, as you saw in game 1. If you didn't have a zealot at that watchtower, 100% he would die to that bailing hit. But he saw it, he got his probe in position to build those gateways to minimize the damage. And it looks like he is doing that same exact build. Awesome. Actually, he goes with 2 zealots. He's going with 2 zealots and then a sentry. So we saw in the previous game, it's the same map, same matchup. He's actually doing the same exact thing, but the difference is he adds on a second zealot. And the only thing I could think of why is just because he wants both watchtowers, pretty much. Maybe he has faced something prior, after the game of this, or before the game of this, that a Zerg player was able to sneak something, and the only way he was able to stop it is if he needs both watchtowers, because you don't know exactly which one he's going for. Like I said, he's using the mothership to kind of scout around. That's pretty neat by him. He's able to see the timing of the layer. It wasn't too quick. He's got his observer right when his mothership leaves. His observer is right there to continue the scouting, which is so cool, this timing by him. So cool. Now of course there is some risk to sending out that mothership over there, but look at this, he has both watchtowers. He can kind of tell that it's okay to send that out. Now, if he sees a lot of units going to his base, 100% sure he would bring back that mothership to his base. Alright, so he sees the Hydralisk then. He needs to look for any other tech. You know, there's some Zergs that like to throw down the Hydralisk den and the Spire at the same time. I think it's pretty annoying. Once again, he's gonna go for that one immortal expand. Super solid. The amount of sentries he has, look how much energy he has as well. It's gonna be super fun. I love the vision on this map. Look at this, and we're only on his vision, but it looks like I'm looking at everyone because he sees everything right now. Alright, so he's looking at the army composition. Not that many Hydras. Not that many Hydras with that army. It's a very good tell of a transition, guys. If he doesn't have more than at least 12 Hydralisk and he's on 3 base, something's up. Something is completely up. Now he didn't scout the gases though, so I was hoping he was gonna use a hallucinated phoenix to go to the other bases to see how many gas he has. Because if you see that they actually got 6 gas, they better have more than that many Hydras. Because if they don't, then the transition is 100% gonna be to full effect here. But he does have the observer in a very nice spot. It's the rally spot for the Zerg. This is looking really dangerous. He does not know about this Spire. Where's the Spire? Come on. And this is why I like to scout with hallucinated phoenix. keep one observer at the rally point. Hallucinating Phoenix is a lot faster. Oh, he sees it. Stargate on the way. He's gonna throw down a second Stargate. Yep. Needs to add on some cannons, and that's what he's doing. It's a lot later than he wanted to, though. Definitely a lot later than he wanted. And it's easy. An easy fix is just to use one of your sentries to hallucinate. Now the downside to it, that costs 2 force fields, and the counterattack can get pretty dicey if you don't have enough force fields. So that could be his justification of why he didn't hallucinate. But it's better to be, in my opinion, it's better to have that scouting information as soon as possible. And he sees the infestation pit, so doesn't say too much about it, but it does lend the hand of the possible transition or a very quick hive from Zerg. Zerg should be double expanding behind this. So if you go mutas, you can generally go for double expand because you have map control generally. Alright, so he spotted where the phoenixes are coming from. And he's handling this very well, in fact. He didn't add on the fleet beacon, which is going to allow him to research that range upgrade. Because he doesn't know if he's continuing with that mass muta corruptor style. Because if you do that, you do want to get range and your air upgrades for your phoenixes. Yes, the gas has been low because he hasn't been mining. That's another tip, by the way. If your gas is really low, it's a good chance that you forgot to put guys in gas. Now obviously that doesn't apply sometimes. Obviously sometimes you might just be researching a lot of stuff and just getting a lot of gas intensive units. But it's always nice to check just to make sure you have all your gases mined with 3 probes each. And he's gonna look, yeah, if you see them wasting mutas like this, 100% means that they are not going for mass mutas. So Zerg is doing a transition, and right now I feel like EGiNcontroL is a little bit blind. I feel like he doesn't know. He's just on autopilot right now. He's just doing his regular routine. He needs to send a hallucinated phoenix to scout. He needs to see where the army is. He needs to see the composition. Because I don't even know the composition right now. Obviously I see the infestors, but I'm saying if I didn't have that production tab, I would not know the composition of Zerg. And that's really scary, not knowing your enemy's composition. Just imagine playing PvP where you're going for a heavy double robo colossus army and they ended up going double Stargate. Yeah, it's not pretty. And the same thing can apply in PvZ. You just need to see their composition. You need to see that in PvT as well. You need to see if they're pulling SCVs, are they adding Hellbats. Both of those responses are asking for both Storm and Colossus in that situation. But nonetheless, he should be fine. He has a pretty nice army composition overall. It's pretty good against everything. It's not the best against everything because then everybody will get this composition, but it has an overall good chance against any kind of composition Zerg can throw at him. He has enough Colossus to deal with Swarm Hosts. He has enough Phoenixes to deal with the mutas, and he has enough anti-air to deal with the corruptors, with the Phoenix and the Stalkers, of course. Obviously, you don't want the Phoenixes are not the best against corruptors, but they are decent if you upgrade them. I like this a lot. He's using DTs to gain watchtowers, and he sees another base. He's getting Storm. He's adding on High Templars. You do want to get High Templars in this situation. Like I said, if you're able to mix up a Colossus with High Templars, it's really good against Zerg. It's really hard for them to answer for both of them. But he is getting Ultras, and looks like he is going to give away these Phoenixes here. Don't really quite agree with it, but I can see why. He's maxed out. His army is not the best against Zerg. The only reason why I don't like it is because he doesn't have enough stargates, where at the point if Zerg is banking a lot of gas and they go for a heavy transition to meet us, it's really hard, especially when you don't have the Phoenix range and you only have 2 stargates. Now if he had let's say 5 stargates or something like that, then I'll be comfortable for him to be sacking these Phoenixes, because just one round of Phoenixes would be fine to buy you enough time to get up to 10 Phoenixes, you know, and get the range upgrade as well. That's when I feel fine. But army composition wise, I like the Zergs. We'll see how this engagement goes. The reason why is because of these ultras. He does not have enough immortals. Like I said, a general rule, if you want to know how to deal with ultras, you need to have the same amount of mortals compared to his ultras. Right now he has only 3 immortals right now. 3 immortals. There he is. He's adding on these stargates, and now I'm feeling a little bit more safe with his decision. Look at that. Yes, and he's adding on that fleet beacon. So smart. So smart. But we do see, I'm not sure if he's looking at the army. He is moving his army over there. Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure. He's adding on observers with this composition. Does he not have any observers? Okay, he doesn't have any observers. That's really smart. He saw infestors. Good chance of them using some burrow tactics, you know. Do not want to get fungled or anything like that. Or you're unexpected. There he is. Now he's using his hallucinated phoenix. That's one thing I wish you'd use a little bit more throughout the entire game. He likes to use it in the late game, which is nice. But you do want to use it for mid game and early game if possible, and safe. And I feel like it is safe if you have, you know, like 4 sentries with a lot of energy. You should be fine to hallucinate 1 phoenix to scout. No, while he's getting his 3rd base. I feel like that's fine, but who knows? Maybe he faced where every force field does actually count. Adding on those warp prism, I like that decision. Like I said, in late game, it's gonna help you pull the Zerg in a very difficult position where they have to make a snap decision, where either they defend the warp and harass from the warp prism, or they defend the entire army of yours, killing off a base. Now he's probably going to use it, like I said, you want to generally just use that warp prism whenever you go for an engagement and you win. Don't really want to expose your warp prism prior to that, because he does have corruptors and there's a good chance of you losing that warp prism. He's adding on void rays, and this is a better decision than against Vinci because he saw the composition. Obviously Fungold's really good against void rays, but what I want to really specify is that there's not that many queens with this composition. There's corruptors. Remember back in Fitzy's game, he had a lot of queens. Queens are really good against void rays. Corruptors are not that good against void rays. So the void ray addition is really smart by him. You see, like I said, you can learn a lot if they're doing the same exact build, or in the same exact, like you can learn a lot in their late game, because it doesn't really matter about the build, but in their late game you can see why they go for a certain unit or whatnot. And this is why he's got, oh, he doesn't have that many queens, so the void ray addition would be really good. Void rays are good against ultras, really good against corruptors, and do that bonus against infestors as well. So it's really good. He does want to go for an expansion. You saw all those probes over there mining that one mineral patch. Like I said, he is controlling the map with the DTs, getting the watchtower as well. He's probably going to be killing out these creep tumors. Yep, that's what I would have done as well. So smart, knows what he's doing. Your Nexus. I don't know exactly when the engagement happens because I actually never saw these replays. So I'm scared to like fast forward and like mess up. But I feel like we are and for a long haul here. Look at this, he is controlling this this map, or this side, or this base. Wow. But he does have an overseer over there. He saw the army was on the far right side. He's gonna be able to destroy this. Does he have a mothership core with his army? I don't know if he has a mothership with his army. Okay, I don't really like this. I do like this in a sense, but I wish he had a mothership core, because now his army is trapped right here. If he had a mothership core, he's gonna be able to recall away. He's gonna go for this engagement here. Charges up, nice, but beautiful fungal that connects on every single unit over there for Zerg. And we'll see which one wins. I'm pretty sure Void Rays win. But fungals are really, really good. It's really, really hard to decide who wins. And it looks like you both tie. But I think Zerg comes out ahead because you lost. When it comes to units loss, you lost the most gas units, I guess you could say. But that's the difference. His bases, his economy is way better than Zerg's. So it's okay to kind of trade off not the best trade. If it's near even, it's really, really good for you. 8 Infestors, 4 Broodlords, 2 Corruptors on the way, 5 Void Rays, 3 Colossus. Yeah, he has a better composition, so this next engagement that's going to happen, I'm pretty sure it's going to seal the deal. He can't even get this expansion whatsoever. It's really frustrating for the Zerg, but this is really, really good for EGiNcontroL. This is why you want to use this, and if your gas is really, really low, use Zealots. Because your Zealots should have a lot, you should have a lot of minerals banked up, because your army composition should be heavily on gas, not heavy on minerals. As minerals are easy to get, because there's more patches than there is for geysers. Alright, so he's adding on High Templars, smart. 2 storms connect on those corruptors, and those corruptors are gonna decimate in matters of seconds. That's a scary wings army right there. I'm actually surprised he's not adding on Tempest, because if you're wondering, 3 Tempest actually one-shots Broodlords. So I don't know. I don't know why exactly he doesn't do that. He still the Broodlords. He is maxed. That could be another reason, but he's adding on 2 Void Rays. Those 2 Void Rays could have been 2 Tempests, and 1 Void Ray could have been a Tempest, which would have gave him 3. All I ask for is 3, so you can just target fire the Broodlords. So he's sacrificing that base, but at the same time he is killing off all these bases. And this is fine for EGiNcontroL, because his money is going to allow him to expand a lot more than it is going to allow for Zerg. But here comes the engagement. He has no other units with the Corruptors. The Corruptors are all over here. So if he's able to deal with all these Corruptors, Zerg's going to be pretty much dead at this point. But he's not actually able to deal with it. A lot of Void Rays here. Not from. Yeah, I'm actually surprised he's not going for Tempest. Tempest would have been a lot easier decision to deal with these Broodlords. I don't know. Hopefully he does see this and actually comment why he actually goes for Void Rays. There's that barrel tactic that I was talking about, those Infestors. Do want to have observers. Now this is getting base trady-ish. And his money has dwindled. But he's killing every single base of Zerg. I'm actually surprised Zerg doesn't carry off a spine with his army. We better have. He does have a scary composition. He's trying to catch up on in the Broodlord count, Void Ray count, so he's able to deal with this, but oh, nice. Oh, he's gonna pick up the oh, that's so smart. That is so smart by him. Now, if you're wondering why it's so smart, what is he banking on? The Void Rays. Alright, the Void Rays can deal with the Corruptors and can deal with the Broodlords. The Infestors is the only one that he's a little bit worried about. And he's actually going to lose all these Broodlords to like 2 Void Rays. Because the Infestors were pressured by the Stalkers and were pushed out of position. Corruptors are out of position as well. And he should win this game now. There's no more Broodlords. Oh, there's 1 Broodlord. Alright, well, that's not gonna do anything. Yeah. Oh, he rebuilt his base somewhere. Probably in the left side. But doesn't really matter. There is a GG from Mystery. Yeah, his Crothers were out of position. He might have saved those Broodlords. But EGiNcontroL did punish that mistake from him. It's a nice play from EGiNcontroL, but like I said, there were a couple of stuff that he could have fixed, but I did like his mid game. His mid game or his opening is really solid. In my opinion, I like this 2 Zealot more than the other builds. The 2 Zealot for the watchtowers and then sentries behind it. He got very quick sentries, which allows him to gather up a lot of energy, and it can allow him to hallucinate a Phoenix super early in the game while he sends a mothership around. He checks for the gases, he checks for the layer timing, wants to see how fast is he getting the layer and how many gases he has. And he expands after the first immortal as he's getting a robotics bait and a second immortal. Really nice. It feels really safe with all the sentries he has. As long as he's in good position, he should not lose anything. But anyways guys, this will be the end of the first hot seat or the hot seat episode. So I do hope you like it. If you have any feedback on what I can improve on, definitely you know, put it down below. I will be looking for other replay packs from other pros, or maybe from events itself. Like there's that dream hack. I might go over the Naniwal one, but I'm pretty sure it's been discussed already completely, so I don't want to just keep on making it. But anyways guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already, you like what you see. And yeah, so anyways guys, thanks for watching. Oh, and if you haven't already, shoutouts to EGiNcontroL for actually releasing this. So you can follow him on Twitter, which is down below there if you want to know where his Twitter or what his Twitter account is. It's right there on the overlay. So yeah, anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.